It's daybreak on Arise News, and it's time for the press preview. First look at what's on the front pages of the papers, and we start with our sister publication, This Day newspaper. On its headline, This Day has that. It's opened. UK High Commissioner Atiku's ideas on security, economy, development. Interesting. This is coming from the UK High Commissioner. As PDP presidential candidate seeks increased collaboration with Britain, Wike's group gives a condition for peace wants equal stake, whatever that means. Parties BOT meets, sets up committee on reconciliation. Silver, future of Nigeria. Others, future of Nigeria. Others, oil, gas industry, bright despite energy transition threats. That's the. Then El Rufai, just above the nameplate of This Day. El Rufai, APC still consulting over presidential campaign cancel. That's on page 12. And then just at the top mast, UBA announces new GMD executive board appointments.
Let's take a look at the Nation newspaper this morning. Its leading story: Northwest, Southwest lead in voter registration. More stories now. UBA names Aluba GMD, elevates directors. Knocks for federal government, ASU over extension of strike. And at the top, intrigues as Amechi Akpabio Silva battle for control of the NDDC.
The Punch newspapers leading with planned attacks, police strategize, and CDC warns as terrorists infiltrate South. Wike PDP BOT meets on Wednesday. Plan peace panel. Federal government plans 712 billion naira mortgage to fund 100,000 houses.
And The Guardian, Nigeria missing as BRICS moves to cut Western domination country on waiting list to join BRICS. Accession talks have not commenced, says diplomat. Country will not meet economic criteria, experts insist. And then PDP, Wike demands a use removal. Single term for Atiku. BOT meets tomorrow. Page 6. Let me take that again. PDP, Wike demands a use removal. Single term for Atiku. BOT meets tomorrow. That's on page 6. And then Osho PDP asks court to stop OSIEC from conducting council poll before Oyetola's exit.
Let's take a look at what we have on the Guardian UK front page. That leading photo there with the caption, "Everyone is buzzing." Lioness's victory echoes around the nation. And just at the bottom there, Tory leadership race, Mordaunt backs Truss. And Afghanistan, US airstrike kills Al-Qaeda leader.
Let's take other international papers. The I paper says Boris Johnson's blame game. Neurotic Tory MPs clash with narcissist MP.
And you have the English team there, the ladies team that won the World Cup. Mordaunt, this is the Times. The Times. Okay, we don't have the Times that have interesting stories there. The Independent, I don't have the Independent. Do you have Daily Express? Okay, well, Independent. Trust plans public sector pay cut outside Southeast.
All right. For the press preview, let's bring in Emmanuel.
Available for now. Okay.
Well, let's take. Okay. That's the Times. Okay. That's the Times, because I had some interesting stories there. Yes, the Times. It says here, Johnson in holiday snub to lionesses. They are rioting that the PM is going on holidays and the lionesses that beat Germany 2-1 in the World Cup, no reception is organized for them. Mordaunt comes out for Truss as leadership gap narrows. Interesting.
The Financial Times this morning. Game changer victory spurs business goals. And below that, Pelosi to meet Taiwan leaders as China steps up warning signals. House Speaker alerted to risk, Beijing military response feared. And another headline here, trust to cut civil servant pay in poorer areas as part of war on Whitehall waste.
Maybe Daily Express. You have it, Ken?
Oh,
You have
got no access
okay,
to
well,
that.
Financial I think you just finished. All right, we'll have Emmanuel now. Emmanuel, good to have you join us this morning. Good morning to you. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Good then. All right. Okay, let's look at this day paper. It says UK High Commissioner Atiku's ideas on security, economy, development interesting. Then he had some riders there. It says PDP presidential candidate seeks increased collaboration with Britain. They're saying that because he's seeking collaboration with Britain. Weakest group gives condition for peace wants equal stake. What would that mean? And party's BOT meets, sets up committee on reconciliation. Emmanuel.
For me, the operational word there is ideas, because if we're going to get out of the woods in this country, we'll be needing, ideas that can change, big ideas. Like one of my bosses late now, that used to say, he was a candidate of big ideas. A country cannot be bigger than the ideas, its leaders are able to expound. So you need those ideas. So, and the UK right now, confirming what he's always, Atiku has always said that he's got the ideas, he's got the plans, he's got the know-how on how to, to deal with the crisis we're facing, whether it's in the security, the economy, or all the other stuff. So, yeah, but it's a good thing that they looked at his plans, they look at his ideas, they look at what he's saying, and they say, look, these are fantastic ideas, because we just need ideas right now. Remember that part of the crisis of this government is the charge that it has run out of ideas, it has run out of its plans. Out of working ideas to how to deal with some of the crisis, and that it's out of its depth. So it's a good thing that the UK High Commissioner is actually applauding what they're hearing. So ideas are fine, they are beautiful, but the implementations is the other bit of it. But if you can even just get the ideas right, if you can working ideas, 21st century ideas that are changing the world, ideas that are fact-based, ideas that can really change or revamp situation. If you have those ideas in place, then yes, you can be considered a serious candidate. And that is what we don't hear too much from these people running. We don't hear them talking ideas, telling us what they can do. Elsewhere in the world, whether it's in the British contest, you see the exchange of ideas, and you see that the contests and the campaigns are based on those ideas. How do you change? What do you do about taxes? What do you do about the economy? How do you lessen the hardship on people? Those are the sort of ideas that people would like to hear, and not this back and forth about who is what, who is not what. Some people say that those arguments don't really count. So it's a good thing that we're talking about ideas, and I think if the candidates will keep it up like that, where we continuously talk about that, interrogate the ideas too. We don't just leave it for the UK or the US, agencies to look at this. But even us, we fact check on those ideas and look at them vis-a-vis the crisis that we're having, and because we've got, we need to have, idea-driven kind of campaigns and kind of candidates too. That's what we separate the serious candidates from the unserious ones.
Emmanuel, on the Nation's newspaper, the Electoral Commission is giving us some figures. INEC says the Northwest and Southwest are leading in the voter registration, and you have the Southeast with the lowest number, with some 11 million voter registration. Would you say this comes as a surprise? I remember when the voter registration was ongoing, there was a lot of protests in the Southeast regarding malfunctioning machines and inefficient machines, or low INEC staff, or no machines at all. There was a lot of protests coming out of the Southeast. So are you surprised by this tally from the INEC?
Well, in Nkechi, I think the only surprising thing there is the demography that is really keying into registration from those statistics that the Nation newspaper is reeling out. So you find out that the youth actually, more than any other demography, really came out. The women did very well, even in those numbers. So yes, it's amazing how young people have really taken, taken a bite out of this registration, really ready now to be participants in the electoral process. Those numbers are actually a bit not too far from the realities on ground, which is that the voting strength of the country seem to be oscillating between the northwest, the north, and the southwest, where you have the bulk of voters. Something that, of course, has been woven into the intricacies of our elections, of our politics, and of the conversation that is ongoing now. Whether you look at what the APC did with the Muslim ticket, tapping into the voting strength of the North. So these are figures coming from INEC itself, so it's difficult to go around the figure. But what I think the conversation should be now is, who is biting into those, who is going to take a chunk of this? The figures are showing that the Northwest and the Southwest are leading. What does that signify in the elections, and what are the candidates supposed to do? It's good information for the parties to be able to see how they strategize and how where they concentrate efforts on picking their numbers, because again, it's going to be a game of numbers. It's going to be a game of voting beyond every other thing that we're considering. This election is going to be about those numbers, those voting. And the good thing about it is, like INEC is saying, is deploying those machines, the beavers, to ensure that votes really count. So all serious contenders are bound to wake up this morning and look at this. The parties are bound to wake up this morning and study these numbers critically and ask themselves where will they go for the big votes and to take them. For the Southeast, you're right, Nkechi, there were those protests, and even in parts of Lagos where people say they were denied, and the INEC continuously look into that to say that, well, they are doing their best, with some sites even said to be fake during the exercise. A lot of things. Even now, there are still agitation that extend the dates, because there are people who are still stranded who didn't have the opportunities to go for their, for the exercise itself. There is that plea coming from other quarters. But INEC yesterday saying, look, this is the end of the road for registrations, and that for now the portal has been closed, and now we're faced with the figures, and it's showing that the leading numbers are from the northwest and the southwest. That again will spark a new debate altogether on where and how the direction of our elections, the 2023 elections, will be going.
In the Guardian, Emmanuel, PDP Wike is demanding a use removal and a single term for Atiku as the BOT of the People's Democratic Party is set to meet tomorrow. These demands, Emmanuel, are they outrageous or just normal?
Well, Wike is using his star power, Kenneth, right now. He's using that star power to make demands. He's using it as a currency to make demands on the PDP. And that's a huge, huge challenge with the BOT stepping in for those meetings they are going to have tomorrow to see how they are going to find some form of middle ground between Wike and his team. With the rest of the world. But the good thing that's come out of all of that is that Wike is not planning to leave the party. That much has been said in some of the reports, probably because there's nothing he can do about it. He has got a dog in the fight. As Ruben Abati put it yesterday, he's got the Wike himself has got a dog in the fight, and because he needs to actually lead the PDP to victory in the state with the candidate. Maybe that, maybe also the fact that the doors to APC has been closed against him, might not be able to just go in there. Whatever is the strategy, Wike is not leaving for now, but he's making demands, and so how. The party is able to meet him, halfway or midway into those demands will determine the next line of action for Wike and his team. But for now, the PDP is trying to get its act together, and it seems as if some ground is already given in the negotiation. So when they meet tomorrow, we'll get a clearer picture on how PDP is able to manage what has now become a weaker problem. It has got a weaker problem on its hands. So how they're able to manage that will also define to them how they go about the campaigns with a unified front.
The question that people like Atiku and how you will ask and some PD people is, those demands not outrageous? But let's look at the Guardian newspaper. Just below the picture where you have Lumelu and his team, it says confusion as Communications Ministry rejects FG's 5% excise duty on sector. Pantami was saying that this is a sine qua non, it's not luxury goods, so they should not charge that percentage on that product.
Yeah, well, I think when the story broke, a lot of people found that a bit, outrageous, and thinking that with all the, the high cost of every other thing, again, where Nigerians will be made to pay more for this, and so yes, I think it's a form of relief to hear that. Look, well, it's seen as outrageous, and that something is being done about it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're living in these very terrible times when the prices of everything's going up. So certain things should be affordable, at least, to be able to make life easy. So well, that's a piece of curious news, and that a lot of users of those services will be interested in knowing how the back and forth eventually pans out.
Thank you so much, Manuel Bello. That's the first preview.